up in New Jersey, which some people can hear that in my voice, and sometimes we would go out to like Lancaster, Pennsylvania area, and they
Yes.
got the Amish, right, the horse and buggies and everything, and they had the best apple cider. And I'm sure that they got eggs and milk and everything else, but man, their apple
Yeah.
cider was outrageous. Awesome. Anyway, good to see you guys. Welcome, Robert. Welcome, everyone. We are live. Welcome to our daily.
Shirt. I look like you.
Look at you're in uniform. What?
No, I'm wearing your shirt.
Oh my goodness! Look at this. I'm having an effect. Look at that, Robert. I am having an effect. Glad to see you all. Welcome to our daily success call or power up or whatever we're calling this for Thursday, the 10th of June, 2021. John Lavinia at your service as always. I've got a couple things. Not really announcements. We're going to be getting into announcements and housekeeping and all that kind of stuff as we continue to grow and put additional like events on the calendar and stuff like that. But I want you to know, just as a point of information, that we continue to explode as a group. So all of you who are here right now, I know I've said this a couple times, but look back on these days being like, I was there back in the beginning, because you are. Because there's so many people. What was that?
Stop selling it.
Stop selling it? Okay. What should I do, Andy? You have a suggestion?
Hey, I don't know.
Okay, very good. So I'll continue. So the point is perspective on stuff. I've often, anyone here ever thought, if I could just be in the right place at the right time? Has anyone ever had that thought? Thank you, Andy. Okay, great. And so have you ever looked back and said, you know what, I was? Here's the point. Here's why I bring this up, Andy. I've got a bit of insight. I'm going to go ahead and mute the mics. We got a little bit of background noise. You guys can unmute as you like. But have you ever looked back in recognition and acknowledgement of, oh my goodness, I was at the right place at the right time? A lot of times people think, if I got lucky, right, or other people got lucky or something like that. I want you to consider for a moment that right now, meaning right now in present time, that you are at the right place at the right time. And in recognition of that, if you can sell that to yourself, Andy, right? In recognition of that, what would you do with such an opportunity? What would you do with that knowledge that, in fact, you got the golden goose? You just found the damn golden goose. Now, I can tell you that you did, okay, because I've been around, I know stuff. A lot of people here are brand new to the whole idea of entrepreneurship or, online business and all of that. It's a completely new proposition, which perhaps just a week ago was just a consideration. Maybe I could, and maybe I can't, right? So you see, there's some indecision there. There's some maybes, there's some considerations, right? But what if you acted as if you couldn't fail? Consider that for a minute, because I was just talking to some members of my mastermind group, nothing to do with what we do here, but I've got people from all over the world that I work with in various capacities. And we were just talking about opportunities and the different paths that people take to survive and, pay their bills and whatever, live a lifestyle, right? And there are as many paths as there are people to take them, right? There's lots of different things you could do. Lots of things besides this that you could go do. You could, think about it, right? There's a million ways to make money, right? You could get a job. Some of you have jobs, right? You could start like a brick and mortar, storefront or something. Probably not the best move in current times. But it is a path, right? Restaurants. I know we got some cooks here. I know we got some people who can cook like crazy. So hats off to our chefs in the audience here today. I'm not a foodie. I look at food and sleep as like inconveniences because I got to have like a body and stuff. Okay, great. Let me feed the body, right? I like my work, right? I like what I do. I like to really get in it. I don't dislike a gourmet meal either. But my goodness, Marie Callender's chicken pot pie just, it just kind of works. But but there's lots of things you could do. What else? You could panhandle, right? You can make money doing that. We see people doing that. I don't recommend it. It's an interesting path. But each path or each opportunity or each method comes with its own set of advantages and its own set of problems. and here's where my little brain was going this morning, is that you pick your problems. I want you to think of it like this. The being in the right place at the right time, right, is another way of saying that, you know what, I am predisposed to have, let's say, exponentially better results than I had doing this other thing when I wasn't at the right place at the right time. And now that I've shown up here, well, how am I going to embrace this? Or how am I going to neglect it? Or how am I going to kind of half measure it? Or in other words, who's showing up to do this? Someone with resolve, someone with the recognition that, oh my goodness, if I really hit this hard, I could make a spectacle of myself in a good way, of course, right? And that's, of course, what I want and what Rachel wants and what all the staff here wants of you. We live on your success stories. Like that's like the psychological pay that we get. You know, when Tracy says, you know what, I came here wondering if I could even do this. And now, bam, look at these statistics. Look at the money. Yeah, let's look at the money. But again, that comes with its own unique set of problems. Let's say that you turned your annual income into your monthly income, which is a worthy goal, I think. What problems would you have? Well, your tax bill will be higher. There's a problem, kind of an inescapable problem. What did Ben Franklin say? There are two things that are certain in life: death and taxes. Yeah, not so funny. But yeah, so there's that. What else? What else? These are things to consider, by the way, because if you're acting as though it were impossible to fail, then what we're actually doing is we're looking into the future and we're postulating, here's what my life will look like now that I have, you know, these results, which I say that I wanted, right? It's not like somebody forced upon you, you know, an income increase or something, right? But what does your lifestyle actually look like then? And what other problems come with that? And I bring up problems because it's easy for us to focus on the negative. Well, I'll speak for myself, right? It's easy for me to grow weeds in the garden. That takes no cultivation. The crap just blows in, right? Because I left the gates open or something, and here's all the weeds growing. Okay, so there's going to be weeds in any garden. Of course, we can deliberately protect against that. We can pull the weeds, okay? But it doesn't take any work to look at what could be wrong with something. So what other problems could you have? Well, let's say that you just turned your annual income into a monthly income, whatever that number is, okay? Do you think your lifestyle is going to change? Obviously, your financial ability has changed, okay? And this is where the whole idea of, which may sound weird, fear of success can come in. I don't know if that's real for any of you, right? Or if any of you have experienced that. A lot of people think, well, maybe fear of failure. Oh, that's real too. That's easier. That's an easier weed to grow. Okay, but fear of success, that weed can grow too. Because now what? What will my friends think, right? I might get criticized. You know, there was a guy who said, in fact, it was Albert Green Hubbard back in the late 1800s, said it, to avoid criticism, do nothing, say nothing, be nothing. Okay, so you're going to have, like crabs in the bucket, right? You're going to have new problem. You got the new car. Maybe you moved to that nice neighborhood, right? Keep in mind, you actually succeeded, right? You actually did what you signed up here to do. Well done. I say well done. Okay, but is everyone in your life sympathetic with your purposes? By sympathetic, I don't mean sympathy, oh, I feel sorry for you. I mean like in harmonious vibration, right? Like on tune into the same frequency, right? Is everyone like that in your life? No. Are there people who build themselves up by tearing other people down? In Australia, they call that the tall poppy syndrome. I know we got our Aussies are asleep right now. It's the middle of the night, but hello, you guys. We see you on replay. Tall poppy syndrome, right? Oh, you dare to stand tall above these others? Are you better than us, right? Or the whole idea of, and I'm sure we've all experienced this, whether in the workplace, in the family, or other ignorant but well-meaning people, perhaps well-meaning, I'm not sure. I don't want to assume that. Assumptions are dangerous. But people who are openly or covertly antagonistic towards your purposes. Here's the thing, guys. We have plenty of other problems to solve without, having to somehow appease those who would be antagonistic towards our purposes. Antagonistic means, against, right? And one of the biggest antagonistic influences that we typically have is ourselves, right? Our own belief systems, our own thinking, where we've got an intention. Okay, here's John the philosopher for you today. So we've got an intention. I intend to increase my income, to have the lifestyle and all that. But, right, and then anything that comes after the word but, we could call counter intention. So intention, counter intention. And we've got this cognitive dissonance. We get to have this argument with ourselves. I think I can. I think I should, but, right? But, oh, okay. And that's where indecision comes in. All these considerations about what if I actually succeed? Or what if I reach? Yes, I could blunder. I could make some failures. And look, who's got a crystal ball? Anybody? Mine's on back order. Okay, I don't know. People ask me sometimes, hey, what's the best, ad to run, or what's the best product to market? And I don't know. Again, there's as many paths as there are people to take them. The marketplace will tell us, right? Let's publish something. Let's do it, right? And then we can look at the statistics, right? It's called feedback. It's really great, but we can't steer a parked car. So we've got to overcome our own inertia in many cases. We've got to get out of our own way and make a decision. Yes, a decision about where we're going, even though we can't see the whole path yet. Nobody knows how to reach a goal until you've reached it, okay? But we've got to make a decision. And that first decision is, yes, we're on the right path for us, with no counterintention, with no doubt. I quoted this guy once before. Actually, I've quoted him many times, but here in this group, I've quoted him, I think, at least once. Wallace Wattles. He wrote a book back in 1910 that became hugely influential. It's called The Science of Getting Rich. And he said that different people in the same business could even be in the same town, right? The two different people could have completely different results, doing almost exactly the same thing. So here's barbershop A and barbershop B. Barbershop A gets rich. Barbershop B is broke, right? Why? Great question. Thanks for asking. Why? He says, here's why. In order to get rich, you must be able to do things in the certain way. And in order to do things in the certain way, you must think in the certain way. Certain way. And he capitalized certain and way, like it's some divine thing or something. And I read this again and again and again. I'm thinking, certain way. Is it like a special way? Maybe it's a secret way, right? I know there's lots of secrets. Everybody's got a secret these days, right? Secret way. And how can he tell me? This was written in 1910. I'm on the internet, man. What the hell does this guy know? Blacksmiths and barbershops and whatever. So I got out the best self-help book ever written. It's called The Dictionary. And I started looking up words. And one of the words I looked up was certain. Because I don't know, what the hell is this guy talking about? And what did you know? One of the definitions of certain is the absence of doubt, certainty. That's it. That's the certain way. And that transcends time. That's, I don't care if you're doing the barbershop thing or you're, the internet guy or whatever, right? It is the way of no doubt. Knowing that you're in the right place at the right time. Knowing that despite whatever stops or stalls or problems, and who doesn't have problems, right? Regardless of all that, we reach every goal we set. We reach every goal we set. Now, we may miss some targets. We may think that, in our estimation, it's going to take 30 days. Oh, it actually took 38. Oh boy, right? Would I have been better off not reaching, not doing, not efforting? No, of course not, right? Reach the goal. Reach the goal. You don't know how to reach it until you've done it, okay? But we got to make a decision about where we're going and then cut ourselves off. Look, the word decision, this is a big one, okay? A lot of people practice decision avoidance, right? That's a very popular pastime. And we sit here in a state of indecision and deliberating with ourselves about should we, shouldn't we, maybe, yeah, maybe, but, right? But, oh my goodness. Okay. So what does decision mean? Decision comes from the Latin root word decidere, which means to cut off. It's a cutting off point. So we cut ourselves off from any other possible outcome. I remember when I was first becoming successful in business, and my intent had been to leave the corporate world for years. It wasn't like, oh, I woke up someday and decided, holy crap, I want to be an entrepreneur. No, I had wanted to be an entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur for a long time. I had made efforts in other areas. Most of you don't know this, but I used to also be in the music business. That wasn't a profitable thing. It was fun. We were doing heavy metal, so there's not much money in that. But so anyway, I did some music business stuff there. I ran a franchise, which cost me 6 figures plus and 70, 80 hours a week to make about 100 grand a year, maybe 80, 90, somewhere in that range. We're going back to the 1900s now. Okay. So that's when it was worth a little bit more, but that was a rough road, right? Some of you have experienced franchising. I guess the good thing about franchising is the predictability of it, which a lot of people really like. That's why people stick around in jobs. That's one reason why people stick around in jobs. Yeah, the job sucks, but I know I'm getting a paycheck, right? So risk aversion, we could call that. But I wanted to reach higher. I wasn't satisfied with this mediocrity, this, linear income approach, trading hours for dollars, right? And anyway, I wanted out. And I got to a point where when I finally found that I was in the right place at the right time, and I was able to recognize that, I found an opportunity that would work for me and a business model that I got passionate about. I was like, man, look at the stats there. Look at the results. You know what? What if I actually applied myself to this, right? Now, in my case, it was very costly compared to where I was at the time. So tens of thousands of dollars. That may not be a big deal for you, but tens of thousands of dollars just to get my foot in the door with this. And when I made the decision, the decision, you know what? I'm in. At that point, I actually said to my mentor, look, I will do everything you tell me to do without question and without hesitation. I will succeed or I will be a bloody corpse, one or the other. There is no middle ground here. Half measures avail us nothing. And with that resolve, with that decisiveness and that definiteness of decision, guess what happened? I won, right? I won, and lots of other people won. So I want you to consider for yourself, what's it look like for you to actually win? What are the pros and the cons of that? So you winning, yes, here's the pick your problems, right? Here's your tax bill, right? And as entrepreneurs, you got lots of things you can do with that. I'm not a tax attorney. I pay thousands of dollars for tax attorneys and accountants, and they take care of the 4 businesses that I run, right? That's not my wheelhouse. Not interested, all right? Not my thing. Please don't show me a spreadsheet. But consider that. So you've got these goals that you've reached. You actually succeeded. What are these other things that will be your reality when that happens, right? I mean, if you're on this path, be on the path. No half step in this, right? Get every last bit of juice out of that fruit, right? I tell people it's like going to the amusement park. Anyone here like roller coasters and stuff? Me, I love that stuff. Yeah. Okay. So when you go to the amusement park, whether it's Six Flags or Disney or Universal, whatever, I say go and have the whole experience, right? So ride the rides, right? Eat the funnel cake, right? Eat the funnel cake. I know it's not good for your diet, but eat the freaking funnel cake. You're there, have the whole experience, right? You don't have to eat the whole funnel cake, okay? But have the whole experience. So consider that. Consider the whole experience like the perfect day. And I think I brought this up the other day, and it's not the first time I'm going to bring it up or the last time. But imagine what it's like to wake up in the morning or whenever you wake up and to know, here's a vision for you, that all your bills are paid on the first of the month for the rest of your life. How's that sound? And we could dream a little bit, right? Is that plausible? Could that be? Yeah, it could be. It could be. How bad do you want it, right? Assuming that's something you want, right? It doesn't mean that we're going to go, retire and drink coconut drinks all day. That gets boring pretty quick, right? We're going to keep scaling up, keep building, keep funding, projects and efforts and things that are important to us. You can do a lot more good with money than you can without. Back to Wallace Wattles, he said the best way to help the poor is to not be one of them. Go get rich, unapologetically, right? But now consider, what does that actually look like? Don't let this just be some fantasy off in the future that could be possible maybe someday when you're a better person or something, or more ready, whatever that means, right? you got to be here now with this stuff. Okay, so what does that really look like? Assuming I can recognize that I am in the optimal position to take advantage of opportunity that I didn't invent, right? The internet and people buying stuff online, right? I had almost no part to play in that, but my goodness, can I cash in? Right? And do it with, very little outlay and risk and all that kind of stuff. There's much more. I know for those of you who have met with me in a private welcome session or, small group welcome session, I'll acknowledge you and I'll do it again because there's many more costly and complicated paths that you could take than this. Okay. And I know that from direct experience, and we could swap horror stories sometime if you like. But you're in a really good place. So just know that. And then, as I already mentioned, act as though it were impossible to fail. Watch what happens. Okay. And what's going to happen is pretty much what you expect to happen. All of the topics that we talk about here come down to one main philosophy, which Ralph Emerson called the law of laws, and that's cause and effect. Cause and effect. You want to be effective? Great. Then you've got to be cause. Therefore, you're not surprised when you have an effect. You're not surprised when you get a result. You caused the result, right? And it's a shift, a major shift. If we've been living at the effect of someone else's best thinking or agenda or beliefs that were sold to us when we were kids or whatever, right? We've got to reclaim cause for ourselves. This is what I work on with people in the groups that I work in. Knowing that, in fact, you are quite powerful in your use of thought and your willingness to apply that, should you choose to, right? Your willingness to apply that in a direction which is already proven fruitful. Thank goodness you don't have to be a pioneer with all this. Pioneers got the arrows in their back and they're slashing through the jungle with the machetes. You just got to walk the path that's already been cut. In fact, you can walk it a whole lot faster. So any considerations you have that somehow these other people, maybe you saw some testimonials, right? Some success stories from other people who've already been through the system, or they must be special or something. Stop that right now. Stop that right now. You can do it better, stronger, faster. You can. Yes, you can. Okay. But you're not going to unless you got a reason to. And you're not going to unless you expect it. Expectation. We get what we expect. So when you reach these goals, it's not going to be like, jumping up and down for joy, like you just won the sweepstakes or something. Oh, I can't believe it. No, it's going to be like deja vu. Like, yeah, of course I did. Of course I just made $1 million. What the hell else am I going to do here? Of course I did. Yeah. Expectation. Know that you're on the right path. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what's coming out of my noodle today. Andy, thank you for your commentary in the chat. Good times. Any thoughts on this? Please feel free to come on out. And maybe if you want, how about this? We could actually speak stuff into existence, like right here live. That might sound scary, right? Oh, you know what? If I name it, maybe I got to claim it, right? So back to that idea of fear of success, right? In fact, if I say it publicly, then others could maybe even remember that I said it and hold me to account. Oh, who wants to play that game? That's a fun game, by the way. It's a fun game. You guys, I think, know the title of my first book, Integrity is Everything, right? You say it, you do it. Tamisha. Hi, Tamisha.
Yes, I would love to play that game. First of
Let's
all,
play that game. Where are we going?
I just want to say, first of all, you just blew my mind when you said it must be done in a certain way. I'm very guilty of overthinking, and it was the most obvious thing. Certain way, just meaning zero doubt. It's like, duh.
Bing.
So just that alone, I'm like, okay, I need to come to these fire up calls every day because this is only my second one. And so the statement I would like to make is that I'm going to make $1 million in 2 years. Boom, it's already done.
That just happened.
That's it, it's already done.
Well done, Tamisha. And she says that with a smile on her face and not knowing how to do it. Fantastic. Absolutely perfect. That's exactly it.
All right, I'm ready.
Sign me up, damn it. Hey, Rashawn.
I'm ready. Okay. Here I go. I started this at the age of 40. So I want to say that I am going to make $40,000 a day by the next 2 years, within the next 2 years.
40,000 a day, you said.
40,000 a day.
Okay. So my friend Grant Cardone has a book called The 10X Principle or Method or something like that. He's known for that. Anybody ever heard of Grant Cardone? He's kind of a boorish guy, you know, he kind of charges through. But he talks about whatever your goal is, let's 10X that. And then let's do 10 times the estimation of effort that you might have. And maybe you missed the 10X goal, but you only hit 8X, right? 8 times. Oh, okay. Well, we'll take the 8 then. Right. So that is a big, bold goal, Rashandia. Well done. Good stuff. And here's the other thing. So Rashandia just said, right? She just spoke that out, and we can look at that, and we could have some thoughts and evaluations about that. But by what means? Remember, we don't know how to reach a goal until we've reached it, right? So by what means could that come to be? Would it be, just e-commerce? No, maybe e-commerce also funds the investing and trading, the real estate, multiple streams of income, right? Let's not pigeonhole ourselves, because our best thinking got us this far, but not further, right? More will be revealed the further we walk down that path with intent, and not keep looking in the rearview mirror at all the reasons why we didn't do it yesterday, right? We got to keep looking forward. Allison.
Yes, sir. I'm going to speak because I'm afraid to speak. So I'm going to make myself do
Fantastic.
it. I started reading your book, and I'm from New York, so I got to be like you. You're from New Jersey. I got to go for it.
How you
I
doing?
am not a new person. I am 62 on disability. I have a thing called dysautonomia. Half the time I'm passed out. So with that, still, I'm not done on this planet. I started a blog on WordPress. I almost had a nervous breakdown because I never made a website, but it looks damn good. I've written my blogs. I spoke to, I don't know if you know who Bobby Jones, the golfer, was. He had a form of what I had from an accident. And I just decided yesterday, I'm going to call the foundation. I talked to them to get permission to use a picture, which they couldn't give me. They actually told me to steal the picture. They said they would give a plug to my blog, which I haven't even finished yet.
Oh.
I have called the Mayo Clinic because I'm writing articles about this different medical thing. This is just the start. This is where I'm starting. I'm doing the mug things with the low hanging. That's how I found your books. And I don't know that I have a money goal right now, because it's just within the last 3 days, it's all started.
Right.
That I would like to be able to make passively what my husband makes in a year, slogging his guts out from this desk over here in the next room, so he can stop this, because he's been supporting me all this time, and I'm gabbing too much, I know, but I'm just beginning, and I want to thank you. And the many things that I heard you say today, and what I read when I started your book yesterday, really motivated me to keep going. I'm out. I'm taking little walks before it gets hot enough so I won't pass out in the street with my
Good.
Gatorade. So I didn't think I could do it because I've been so sick, but I'm doing it. And it's
Wow.
thanks to you and all these people. So maybe next time I'll have a better goal, but thank you all so much.
You know what? Thank you, Allison. And just having a goal, you've already put yourself like in the top 3% of people like on the planet. Yeah.
Thank you.
So no need to validate or invalidate your goal. The fact that you have one, bravo, my friend. And you seem great to me, right? That's Allison, everybody. Well done. All right, my friends. Well, we're right about a half hour. Thank you all for participating and for speaking up. And Andy, this is going to get bigger, so keep coming, brother. All right. I love you, man. We're glad you're here.
John,
I'll
can I
see
ask
you
you
all-
a question?
Oh, I
Sorry.
see ya. Yes.
Sorry, this is Jamie.
Oh, Jamie. Yes.
Are you having these sessions also at 5:30 Eastern, or only
No.
at this time? Okay.
Yeah,
Because-
we have another performance coach who's really cool. Her name's Karen, and she does an evening session More of like the Australians show up there. So evening for us is like morning for them. Right now it's middle of the night for Australia, but you can attend hers as well. In fact, I might make a cameo appearance on there, Jamie. That might be
Awesome.
fun.
My son lives in Australia, so I'm on that time too.
Oh, what state?
He lives in New South Wales in Sydney.
Ah, okay, cool. Yeah, we got a bunch of Sydney folk here with us as well. So glad you're here, Jamie. Great question. All right, everybody good? We can wrap up with that?
Yep.
All right. I see ya. Good to see you. All right, we'll see you all real soon. Have a great